ॐ भूर्भुवः स्वः तत्सवितुर्वरेण्यं भर्गो देवस्य धीमहि धियो यो नः प्रचोदयात्। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः। Namaste, my dear friends. This is fourth video on the teachings of Swami Ram Sukdas ji, a modern rishi having the attributes of ancient Sanatana Dharma sages. This video starts with the topic Divinity Beyond the Ken of Instruments. Karka gives birth to an action and conduces it to accomplishment. Karkas are six in number: Karta, nominative; Karma, objective; Karana, instrumental; Sampradana, dative; Apadana, ablative; and Adhikarana, locative. These six cases are instrumental only in the accomplishment of mundane actions, but in God realization they are not instrumental because God realization is beyond the ken of actions. The perfection of practice is possible only with the help of instruments which are evolutes of nature. Practice results in a particular new state but does not lead to self realization, as divinity has no state. Self realization, God realization, is possible by discrimination, and that faculty of discrimination has been bestowed upon all beings by God. Other beings, except human beings, exercise it for the maintenance of their bodies because they have no thirst for God who is transcendental. So they cannot realize God. In other beings, this discrimination is possessed more by moving beings than by the unmoving ones. Among the moving ones, the birds possess it more than animals of the land, while animals of the land possess it more than aquatic creatures. But in them it is limited to the maintenance of bodies, so they can distinguish the eatable from the uneatable, heat from cold, contact from separation, etc. But unlike man, they cannot distinguish the real from the unreal and duty from non-duty because they don't possess the faculty of discrimination and right also. This discrimination is aroused in human beings only. The reason is that other subhuman creatures are destined to reap the fruit of their past actions, while a man, by attaching importance to his discrimination, can realize God and be free from the cycle of birth and death. Therefore, it is a man's special responsibility to realize God in the same way as the income tax has to be paid only by those whose income is taxable. Without utilizing discrimination, a man degrades himself more than even an animal. A man, rather than an animal, indulges in such sins as fraud, falsehood, forgery, deception, dishonesty, injustice, and violence, etc. Animals, by reaping the fruit of their past evil actions, progress towards a better life, while a man degrades himself by incurring new sins because of his greed for pleasures. He misuses his discrimination in committing new sins for the gratification of his desires. The Lord declares people of demoniac nature look upon the gratification of desires as their highest aim and feel sure that the Lord in the Gita has the reason is that in hell a man, by reaping the fruit of his evil action, is purified, while in the company of vile persons he loses purity and incurs sins. The Lord in the Gita has divided the lower nature into 8 parts: earth, water, fire, air, ether, mind, intellect, and ego. Amongst them, ego is the chief cause of bondage. Though higher or lower in qualities, these 8 belongs to the same class. As the earth is matter, so is ego, which ego is like a lump of earth. In order to draw an attention to this secret fact, the Lord uses the term iyam, this, ahanki kartiyam, and aprayam. The Lord has mentioned the same fact by the term etat when he declares ego as setra in etad yo veti. This ego has been mentioned as this in Yo Veti chapter 13 sloka number 1 of Gita. This ego has been mentioned as this in order to clarify that it is distinct from the self and is knowable. The reason is that this can never be self while self can never be this. A man by ignorance identifies the self with ego, and so he is attracted towards the matter and comes under its sway. So they cannot realize God. A man, by making proper use of his discrimination and by respecting it, can be superior even to the gods and can bring God under his sway. But because of his indulgence in pleasures and misuse of discrimination, he can degrade himself and be inferior even to animals and can pave the way to 84 lakh species and to hells. So a man should not indulge in such actions which discrimination does not sanction. Beings have both lower material prakriti nature and higher spiritual prakriti nature. Egoism is lower nature, while spirit is higher nature. This relationship between the matter and spirit is called Chijada Granthi. Chijda Granthi, unreal. Thus, animals, by reaping the fruit of their past actions, pave the way to human life, while men, by incurring new sins, have paved the way to hell. So, the company of such vile persons has been called worse than even residence in hell. बरूबल बास नरक करताता दुष्ट संग जनी देही विधाता रामचरितमानस. The reason is that in hell a man by reaping the fruit of his evil actions is purified, while in the company of vile persons he loses purity and incurs sins. The Lord in the Gita has divided the lower nature into 8 parts: earth, water, fire, air, ether, mind, intellect, and ego. Amongst them, ego is the chief cause of bondage. जड़ चेतन ही ग्रंथि परी गई, यद्यपि निरसा छूटत कठिनाई. ये रामचरित मानस की चौपाई है. This relationship is illusory, not real, because matter and spirit possess antagonistic nature. Spirit is luminous while matter is the object to be illumined. Spirit is changeless while matter is kaleidoscopic. Spirit never ceases to be while matter never lasts. Both are distinct in nature, yet they are not enemy to each other. The spirit is the illuminator and supporter of the matter. The real is the bedrock of the unreal. Inquisitiveness to know the real divinity is inimical to the unreal matter, because inquisitiveness breaks up relationship with the matter. Thus, in a sense, inquisitiveness for divinity is superior to divinity. Desire for the mundane materials and actions connects us with them, while inquisitiveness breaks up our relationship with them. In the desire for pleasure, there is predominance of matter, ego, while in inquisitiveness, here is preponderance of spirit. When in a man there is predominance of matter, he desires mundane pleasures, but when there is predominance of spirituality, he develops a desire for salvation or God realization. So long as a man remains engrossed in the mundane pleasures because of the predominance of matter, ego, he can never attain supreme peace or supreme bliss. Even if he rises to the rank of Brahma, the creator, he can't attain supreme peace. How can the changeable provide peace to the unchangeable? How can the unreal satiate the real? Attaching higher value to the spirit and renouncing the matter, when an aspirant advances, his ego will die out and pure self will remain. With the effacement of relationship with matter, attachment totally vanishes. They, then, attachment being rooted out, he attains perfection, which nothing remains to be done, to be known, and to be gained by him. In fact, perfection is axiomatic, but attachment to the matter does not allow perfection. As soon as this attachment is totally wiped out, perfection is automatically realized. But it is realized only when there is inquisitiveness for God realization or self realization or for God's love or vision. It means that inquisitiveness will specially arouse discrimination, which will cut asunder attachment to the matter. This detachment will root out egoism, which in turn will root out the sense of mine, and thus the untainted self will be realized. Thus is self-realization. No instrument karka is necessary. In all karkas cases, nominative case is the most important. In karta nominative case, consciousness is reflected, while it is not so in other cases. In fact, karta is not synonymous with consciousness. This karta represents assumed relationship with consciousness, with the understanding clouded by egoism. Man thinks I am the doer. Gita chapter 3 stanza 27. Therefore in the Gita, where the Lord has mentioned five factors: body, agent, senses, various sources of efforts, and samskara, providence or impressions for the accomplishment of all actions, there he has censured the person who looks upon himself as the doer by declaring that such a person is of impure, untrained mind and perverse understanding. The reason is that the self is neither a doer nor an enjoyer. Lord Krishna declares the self in spite of dwelling in the body, neither acts nor is tainted. Gita chapter 13 stanza 31. If the self is not the doer, who is the doer? The Lord answers is the Gita, in the Gita, all actions are performed only by nature Prakriti. Chapter 13, stanza 29. All actions are performed by the modes of nature, and it is the modes which are acting on the modes which the modes are the doer. Chapter 3, stanza 27 and 28. Chapter 14, stanza 23. There is no agent other than the modes. Chapter 14, stanza 19. The senses move among the sense objects, which senses are the agent. Chapter 5, stanza 9. It means that it is a nature rather than the self which is the doer. Therefore, an enlightened soul realizes that he does nothing. Gita chapter 5, stanza 8. And he, by holding that it is the modes which are acting on the modes, does not get attached. Gita chapter 3, stanza 28. The Lord also declares, when the seer beholds no agent other than the modes and knows the self beyond the modes and considers himself totally detached from the modes, which he really is, then he realizes the self. Unless attachment is totally annihilated, a man may talk tall, may discuss the subjects lucidly, may deliver discourses on them, and even may write books on those topics, but can't attain supreme peace. When the spirit assumes a relationship with the non-self, the sense of I-ness is born. A man has the sense of I-ness and mindness with the body, while he has the sense of mindness with the other objects. But being proud of his possessions, he also develops the sense of I-ness as I am rich, etc. A man gets proud by possessing learning, intelligence and talent, etc., while he becomes arrogant by possessing riches and declares the self in spite of dwelling in the body, neither acts nor is tainted. The self is totally free from gunas, moods. Gita chapter 13, stanza 31. The self is the illuminator while modes are to be illumined. The self is unchangeable while modes are changeable. The self is eternal while modes are transitory. In the Gita, the Lord has attributed doership to nature and enjoyership to the spirit. The reason is that it is only the spirit which can experience pleasure or pain. An action takes place in the matter, while the fruit of the action in the form of pleasure and pain is reaped by the self. Which self? The self which is seated in Prakriti, matter or nature. The Lord declares the self seated in Prakriti experiences the modes born of Prakriti. Gita chapter 13 stanza 21. It means that it is because of the sense of doership that a man has to experience pleasure or pain, otherwise, he will remain established in the self, which is naturally an embodiment of bliss. The Lord declares he is alike in pleasure and pain and remains established in the self. Gita chapter 14 stanza 24. Therefore, this enjoyership of pleasure and pain is merely an assumption, it is not a fact. In the self, there is neither doership nor enjoyership, as they have no pre-existence, so they die out. Had there been doership and enjoyership in the self, they could have never died out when the self was alive. He who is free from egoistic notion, whose intellect is not tainted, though he slays all people, he does not slay, nor is he bound. When the self has no doership at all, and when it does not bear an iota of relationship with the nominative case, how can it bear any relationship with other cases? So, first of all, an aspirant should have a firm determination that he is neither a doer nor an enjoyer. He has neither the sense of I-ness nor that of mineness in him, though it appears that this determination is done by intellect, but actually it is awareness of the self. This awareness needs no aid of instruments. It means that first an aspirant thinks and then he determines by his intellect that he is beyond instruments. This awareness that he is beyond the ken of instruments is only of the self. It implies that in this awareness, complete detachment from the instrument is there. The place where an action takes place is known as adhisthana, adhikarna or locative. But the self is not the seat of any action. Every action can be attributed to the self because the self is the substratum of everything and action. The assumed entity has no independent existence of its own except that of the self. Therefore, the self is known as the abode, sport, base, and illuminator of all beings, objects, and actions. Thus, in the self, there are no karkas cases such as karma, objective, karna, instrumental, and adhikarna, locative, etc. It proves that divinity is beyond instruments, actions, and objects which are evolutes of nature. Therefore, self realization or God realization is not possible by means of material instruments, but it is possible only by cutting asunder the assumed relationship with Prakriti, nature, and its evolutes. Out of the six Karkas cases, the four Karka nominative, karma, objective, karna, instrumental, and adhikarna, locative have direct relationship with actions. These four can be used as nominative, but it is not the case with sampradana, dative, and apadana, ablative cases. They are merely helpful in action. That's why the passive voice is not applicable in them. For example, he gave charity to a deserving hand. This is dative case. The donor undergoes no change when charity is offered. If there is no donor, the action of charity is not accomplished. He is called a karka because he is helpful in the action of charity. Similarly, he came from the village. This is apadana, ablative case. The village does not undergo any change, but it is called a case because his coming is connected with the village. Actions are fourfold: Ut, Utpadaya, production; Vikariya, modification; Samaskariya, purification; and Apya, attainment. Sometimes they are called by three names: Nirvartya, Vikariya, and Prapya. Out of them, the objective case Apya does not undergo any change, as in I earned money does not undergo any change. At this stage, I complete this video. Thank you for watching this video. Namaskar, my dear friend. Thank you. Next video number 5 will start with the topic description of the unreal. Thank you. Namaste. Namaskar.